Bismillah walhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulullah amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, and welcome back to the seerah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We left you last time where we said that when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came back from Taif and what happened with Addas and the honor of Addas and what happened to him. And also when we said that when Jibreel alayhi salam descended down with the Malik al-Jibal, he came down with the angel of the guardian of the mountains, giving Prophet Muhammad ﷺ a choice. I know it's a beautiful story, and we talked about the manners and etiquettes of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, how much he persevered, how much his humbleness, how much his patience, and so on. It's another lecture on its own. But we can derive one lesson, inshallah, from Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, is that most of us will take an action right away, as an emotional, shoot from the hip, if you will. But we don't know what's in that story for us. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ knows that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent him for a reason. And as a matter of fact, he used to get upset when one person does not accept Islam. Says, "Tafallat minni." I lost another one. Meaning what? That he may be going to the hellfire if he doesn't become a Muslim before he dies. He would feel every one person is important. Every human being is important. He says, I missed this one, I lost this one, I could have... Subhanallah. لَعَلَّكَ بَاخِعُ نَفْسَكَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to, take it easy, Ya Muhammad alayhi salam. You're working so hard, or you're feeling so bad about those people that you don't heed to your message. But Prophet Muhammad sallallahu his whole life was surrounding about the da'wah. So when the angel of the mountains came in and asking Prophet Muhammad sallallahu those mountains, you want me to set asunder upon them? He says, no. And when we stopped last time, maybe the offsprings, the lineage, the progeny will come and say, يَعْبُدُونَ اللَّهَ وَحْدَهُ لَا يُشْرِكُونَ بِهِ شَيْئًا. They would worship Allah alone, no ascribing partners unto Him. And it would be, inshallah, as you will see later on in the seerah. From here there on, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, on the way back to Mecca, he was pondering, reflecting, what does he do? How does he go back to Mecca? So he stayed in a place called Wadi Nakhla. With him, of course, was Zayd ibn Haritha, radiallahu anhu wardah. And in that area, it was a beautiful place and had some nice spots, nice scenery, nice water, and so on. And this is really what it means, the valley of the palm trees. So at that time, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was reciting the Quran. Who do you think was listening at that time? Actually, the jinn. But Prophet Muhammad ﷺ did not know at the time, because according to the opinion of the scholars, that he did not know at the time that the jinn were listening to him. But he knew that from siyaq al-hadith, from the later on when the ayat, the verses were revealed unto him. قُلْ أَنَّهُ نُوحِيَ إِلَيَّ أَنَّهُ سَمِعَ نَفَرٌ مِنَ الْجِنِّ, and so on. And also in another verses that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told them later that the jinn were listening to you. So what was the message? The message is that, O Muhammad alayhi salam, you're much honorable than that. This dua you did is not that whatsoever. It is something that much more. And if these people don't believe in you, the jinn believed in you. So now Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam feels better. On the way back to Mecca, he feels that when Jibreel alayhi salam came in and he set the record straight, that you're much more than that, your status is high, and if you wish you will do that. And now the jinn are starting to believing in him and so on, and he came back ala tawali. They kept coming back. Now he felt a little bit more optimistic. The cloud of sadness and the sorrow and the miseries and all the difficulties he had to go through were starting to go away. Alhamdulillah, he's seen sort of the light in the end of the tunnel. And with that inspiration, he wanted to go back to Mecca, to start where he left off. Because it doesn't end here. If you have to learn to get back on the horse, akhi and ukhti. Whatever, it doesn't matter what you do in this life. If it doesn't work for the first time, keep going. You never fail till you stop trying. So we don't stop trying. Now, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ wants to come back to Mecca, but he doesn't know how to come into it, how to go back. Zayd ibn Haritha, he says, how do you go back to it, into it, O Messenger of Allah? وَقَدْ أَخْرَجُوكَ. They have driven you out of Mecca. How do you go back to it? So Prophet Muhammad ﷺ sat outside in the area where he sent messengers. He sent three people specifically. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ sent the first one actually to Al-Akhnas ibn Shurayq. But he was in Hira. He went to Hira, Ghar Hira. And he stayed waiting for an answer. He first went to him and he asked him to make me in your jiwar, in your protection. He says, أنا حليف والحليف لا يجير. Meaning, I am one of the allies, and if I'm an ally, I cannot be against the allies. So he went to Al-Akhnas, after Al-Akhnas he went to Suhail ibn Amr. After Suhail ibn Amr, he actually went to him and he says, would you able to protect me? He says, from our tribe will not go against Bani Ka'b. So it's all about tribes again, subhanallah. Till he got to Al-Mut'ab ibn Adi. He said, would you take me in? Mut'ab ibn Adi, as I mentioned earlier, as one of the signs that we can use some of them in order to protect, but not against our own Muslim brothers and sisters, inshallah, you understand. This was a specific circumstances, and the reason for it was noble. In order for him to continue the da'wah, it's just اتخاذ الأسباب till Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed later, وَاللَّهُ يَعْصِمُكَ مِنَ النَّاسِ. That's it. And Allah will protect you from people. He told anyone else, no need. And now when he came in, Al-Mut'ab ibn Adi, he gave him the green light. He wore the armors of war, and he went to his whole tribe and his children. He says, dress in the armors of war. Take your swords out and walk with me. I have أجرت محمدا. I have declared that I will protect Muhammad. So they went out, and he says, انتظروني في البيت. So wait on the bayt, meaning the Kaaba. And then he got on his horse, fully armored, and he declared, he drew the sword, he says, Ya ma'ashar Quraysh, O people of Quraysh, O tribe of Quraysh, I am declaring that I am protecting Muhammad ﷺ, and do not touch him or harm him with anything. And in that time, when people say he's in my jawar, people respected that. He's among the honor of society, Mut'ab ibn Adi, and people said, will not go against it. So it is actually narrated, believe it or not, that Abu Jahl, you won't believe this, yes, Abu Jahl, he came up to Al-Mut'ab ibn Adi. There's two narrations. He says, Amujir, Aslamt. He says, did you sabat? Did you become a Muslim? Meaning left the religion of your forefathers, or you just mujir, or just protection? He says, yes, just protecting. Mujir, just mujir. In the first narration, he says, Wallahi, by Allah, I know you're among the Al society, but if you followed him, we would have fought you. But the other narration says, Na'am, ajartu, I'm mujir. He says, Idan, nujir man ajart. We will protect what you protected. Subhanallah, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected Prophet Muhammad sallallahu from something that he had nothing, nobody now, subhanallah, after Abu Talib, his uncle, and after Khadija radiallahu anha, his wife. Both died. It is important for us to understand that even Prophet Muhammad sallallahu did not forget the favor that Mut'ab ibn Adi did for him. He said, in that time of Badr, is Wallahi, لو كان مطعما حيا, if Mut'ab ibn Adi, the one that he protected Prophet Muhammad sallallahu when he came back from Al-Ta'if to Mecca, if he was alive at that time, of the time of which? Time of Badr. If he came to me and he says, let all these hostages go for me, I would have done it in his honor, because he has not forgotten. He has not forgotten what Mut'ab ibn Adi did for him when he came back from Al-Ta'if to protect him when he goes into Mecca. Like we talked about Al-Bukhtari ibn Hisham. Remember when we talked about breaking the covenant, breaking that oppressive treaty that they had, and they put it all these bad points that will not eat from them, not buy from them, not marry them, and all the stuff, and they put it in the Kaaba. This is the same thing when Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says, do not touch Al-Bukhtari ibn Hisham. Same thing with Al-Mut'ab ibn Adi. He says, Wallahi, if he was alive at that time, I would have let the hostages go in his honor. So it's something we have to learn, akhi and ukhti. When people are good to you, then they become bad, or believers or disbelievers, or whatever it may be. We forget everything that's good that happens, and we just remember the bad. It's not the case. Prophet ﷺ is the other way around. He forgets the bad. He remembers the good. So now they came in, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ came in with Zayd ibn Haritha radiallahu anhu. He came in, فاستقبل الركن, and he ashar, istalama, when you go into inshallah al-hajj and umrah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us hajj and umrah more and over inshallah. And if you haven't, may Allah grant you that inshallah. Or if you have done it, may Allah accept from you inshallah. I mean it. So he went first, istalama al-rukn, in the corner, raised his hand, and he طاف البيت, he went around the Kaaba, and he prostrated, he prayed 2 rak'at to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to thank him. And now his Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, okay, it's time for me to start again with the da'wah. This is when he started to actually go back and think, what would he do? And how would he handle it? And how this a new ray of the da'wah comes in. It's a new way. It was the 4th year. It was the 4th year of that revelation, and in that essence, it was the time for Dhul Qa'dah. And Dhul Qa'dah, of course, is the month before Dhul Hijjah, and it was a lot of tribe that came in. A lot of tribe that came into the masjid, and the people come in all the way from كل فج عميق, from everywhere they come. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam started to say, okay, I'll offer this, explain Islam to them, and hopefully one of them will become a Muslim. So he started to go to one tribe at a time. But believe it or not one tribe, subhanallah, heeded to the message. But it was not for him to give up. As you will know, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked him, he says, what I have in the religion of Islam, this is what it's all about, and here's what the best way for it, and so on. And remember that the people, of course, we know that there are difficulties that he had to go through, but the moral of the story, we will finish up, inshallah, this first portion of it. The moral of the story is that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ now was back on track. He felt good. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him the victory. He gave him the messenger with Jibreel alayhi salam. He felt that he was back in the game, and he wanted to start over again. And with this, inshallah, was the message that he came up with, and the new techniques that he had a risala for every tribe that he had to come in. And Zahrani, he actually named all these the tribes that came in, and how Prophet Muhammad ﷺ went to each one, and he gave each one a specific time, as if he's the only one that he would do it. And so when we deal with it, akhi and ukhti, we don't deal with it, okay, he's not important, he's not rich, he's not doing that, but we deal with it, inshallah, accordingly, that everybody is important. Wallahu musta'an. Now the first one was Banu Kalb. Banu Kalb, actually, though he called them Banu Abdullah. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ came up to him, he says, لَقَدْ أَحْسَنَ اللَّهُ إِسْمَكُمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you a nice name, Banu Abdullah. So he says, La nurid, you doing this to do what? To protect yourself and heed to others and get the strength and numbers? We don't need this. No need for us to come under you. And they did not actually accept the invitation to become Muslim. And then Prophet Muhammad ﷺ went to a tribe called Banu Hanifa. And Banu Hanifa were the worst. It has nothing to do with Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi, by the way, just in case you're wondering. Okay, this is another tribe at the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, he came up to him, and they were the one that actually rejected him in the worst way possible. They said the aqbah al-radd. It was the worst answer, and they rejected him in an unpleasant way possible, and in a not a very well mannered, not even good utterance. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam left him. But there was a tribe. Specifically, there was a man about Banu Amr ibn Sa'sa'a. He saw that there was something different about Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. This man was actually called Bayhara ibn Firas. He saw there was something different about him. There was some kind of beautiful aura, and people in a way that when he said, listened, and they were affected by he says, لو كان لي أمر على هذا الغلام لملكت به العرب. If this ghulam comes with me and we go work together as a team, we would own the Arabs. So he goes up to him and he asks him, we would believe in you, but under one condition. تجعل أمرنا بعد الممات. It's a business deal, barter system. Okay, we will come, we will believe in Islam, but under one condition. What's condition? Is after you die, it comes back to us, especially me. So it's not inheritance, akhi. This nubuwah and this deen, it's not like, you know what, I like you, I give it to you. Now it's not up to us who to give it to. It's not mine. So Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says, Al-amru ilallah yad'uhu haythu yasha'. This matter of Islam it's up to Allah. He places wherever He wishes, or He pleases, or where He sees fit. So that man, Bayhara ibn Firas, says, عجبا نضع نحورنا لنحميك ثم تضع الأمر لغيرنا بعدك. He says, we protect you with our necks, and after you die, you put it to somebody else. He says, no deal. Subhanallah ya akhi. You can understand, my brothers and sisters, if somebody is doing something specifically for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will know. But if somebody is doing something for his sake, you will also know. And this is the proof. So when a brother comes in and he says, you know what, I have a problem with this person or whatever, and doesn't come to the masjid. Do you come to the masjid for this man, akhi, or do you come to the masjid for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? It's nothing personal, akhi. You come for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And please don't do things for people and don't stop doing things for the sake of people. We understand this type, it's more minor shirk, ya akhi. This riya, akhfa, this is what Prophet used to fear for us. Akhsha alaykum shirk al-azghar, this akhfa, this khafi is hidden. So Prophet Muhammad is teaching us. He says that this deen is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's not individual. You cannot tell me I will and I don't, if you don't follow me what I'm telling you, I'm not becoming a Muslim. Okay, akhi. Islam doesn't need you, you need Islam. We don't have to sell it. Okay, so Prophet Muhammad did that. So just quickly, inshallah, remember, if you're sitting in the masjid, you open the Quran, and if somebody comes in and you close the Quran because you want to look sincere, that's also minor shirk, ya akhi. And if somebody comes in the masjid and all of a sudden you reach for the Quran to open it, that is also, please. So don't do things for the sake of people and don't stop things for the sake of people. So what does scholars tell you? As if people do not exist. It doesn't matter if there's one person or there's 1 million persons. I don't care. Doesn't matter. So this is something we learn. But however, Bayhar ibn Faras went back to his tribe. Amr ibn Sa'sa'a, they went back to the tribe, and there was one elder person who was very distinguished, very experienced. So they told him about what happened from Bani Abdul Muttalib. When we went back, there's a man called himself a prophet, and he declared this, and he offered this unto us. He goes, هَلْ لِهَذَا الْجُرْحِ مِنْ مُضَمِّمٍ. Could anyone heal this wound? What have you done? They could have been the Aus and Khazraj. They could have been the first tribe to become Muslims, ya akhi. But he says, is there anyone that would be able to heal this wound? This is a golden opportunity that slipped through your fingers. مَا قَالَهَا إِسْمَعِيلِيٌّ قَطْ مِنْ قَبْلِهِ. Not one person from the sulala, the lineage of the progeny of Ismail alayhi salam, ever said it. So he knew that this was the true one, and he was certainly very upset that they made that deal or did not take the offer of Prophet Muhammad on at that time. And after this, a man called Suwayd ibn Samit radiallahu anhu wardah. He came into Mecca, and as we mentioned, the Prophet Muhammad when he went to all the tribes, didn't have much, subhanallah, luck in that, but there's a wisdom behind everything. But he did not stop talking about the tribes. He went now to individuals. Among the individuals was Suwayd ibn Samit radiallahu anhu wardah. He comes in, and he's a learned man, and he has something in his hand, and he sees Prophet Muhammad sallallahu. He says, I heard. He says, I have something that I want to share with you. What I have is better than what you have, subhanallah. He hasn't heard it yet. We don't blame him. So he took out the paper. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu says, I will listen to you. Go ahead, tell me what you have. And it was words of wisdom of Luqman. Okay? Alayhi salam. I mean, I understand that Luqman alayhi salam, we know that among them he says the beautiful words and the wisdom is mentioned in the Quran for his son and so on. Some of them were the hikmah, the wisdom behind Luqman. And then Prophet Muhammad says, okay, I listen to you. Maybe what I have is better than what you have. And according to him, the wisdom and all the big beautiful advice from Luqman was something the best. Who could have ever come up with something better than the wisdom behind Luqman? So Prophet Muhammad started to recite the Quran, and he says, what you have is better than what I have. And he became a Muslim, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. Look at the beauty and the effect again when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looks in the hearts. As the hadith says, Allah does not look at your bodies and your clothes, He looks at your hearts. If your heart is pure and you're seeking that, as we mentioned before, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you guidance, inshallah. After that, there was a man called Iyas ibn Mu'adh radiallahu anhu wardah. He came with his tribe, but the purpose of him coming to Mecca, they were actually looking for some tribes to be allies in order for them to go to war with others. Meaning they're coming to Mecca for Quraysh to come with them, fight with them, other tribes and other people. So when he came in, Prophet Muhammad he looked at him and he looked at his tribe and he said to them, I have something better than what you have come to me with. What is it? He said that I have come to you with the Quran, the word of Allah, and I'm a messenger from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I have come to you to warn you about the hellfire, to give you the glad tidings from the Jannah. So then Prophet Muhammad started to recite the Quran. And he, Iyas ibn Mu'ad, radiallahu anhu wardah, heeded to the message. He says, Wallahi, I haven't heard anything like this before. Beautiful. And he became a Muslim. He says, what are you doing? You coming here for the tribe of Quraysh to come and help you in war? And have you not heard this man speak? Become Muslims. He says, Wallahi ma ji'na lihada. By Allah, we didn't come for that. We don't need this. We need some people to help us in wars. We don't need one man. We need a whole tribe. And they started throwing dust in his face. But Iyas radiallahu anhu ibn Mu'ad held on and he became a Muslim. And when he went back, he started to make takbir and tahleel and tasbih in front of everyone. And he didn't care till he actually died. Subhanallah. In the last minute or so, we talk about Abu Dharr al-Ghafari radiallahu anhu, when he came and he heard from those two that I talked to you about, he started to hear and there's a prophet. And he came all the way. He was just outside of Medina, Yathrib. And he came and he started to look, who is he? Where is he going to come from? And who is that man? Is he the truthful one or not? So he started to follow and hear about people. And he talked about Isa Ali. Tell me, who is this man? He says, Uktum sirrak, don't talk about it loudly. And he says he used to listen to other people talk about those two statues that actually were cursed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala turned them into stones. Those people wanted to commit adultery in the haram. But in order for us to finish the story, inshallah, we're going to have to continue with that story in the next episode. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those who listen speech and follow the best of it. وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه والتابعين.